What is good, man? It is your boy Benji, and we are back with another episode of the Qrewcast. Got special guests with me. Got my boy D.
What's happening? Welcome. Dang, my first time on the pod, man. What's happening?
No, facts though. Hey, look, man, we be chatting enough, so I was like, we might as well get the man on the pod. I don't even know. We got a lot going on, a lot to talk about, man. We can get straight to it with sports. Talk about NBA. You know, we've been putting the parlays in. Season been going crazy.
Yeah.
Lakers, they out of there. Heat, they out of there. Pelicans and the Suns both got swept. They out of there. What are you thinking? Any initial takeaways, man, from how the NBA playoffs looking so far?
From the way it's looking right now, it's just Denver ain't gonna make it either.
Yeah.
Nah, really. Everybody been playing their heart out for real. I mean, you know, that's really all I can say. And I mean, some of my parlays been hitting. Sometimes I get mad. But hey, it's been a pretty interesting. I ain't even gonna lie, pretty interesting playoffs.
No, facts.
Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. Sorry.
Funny enough, like you said that, I've been having a take on it that I think that there's already a changing of the guard. Like everything's starting to shift right now to the next generation. Because you think about it, LeBron, Curry, and KD, they the face of the league, they just got eliminated. You know what I mean?
Big dogs. Yeah.
They gone. So now you got all the young boys in there. Shea, Edwards.
Yep, come on.
You know what I mean? You got
these young guys.
The new guys kind of at the forefront of everything right now.
Facts. And they going crazy right now, too.
Yeah, it's going crazy.
Freaking your boy Chet. That's what I'm saying. Like, OKC,
I'm a fan.
OKC been going crazy. Shout out.
Next round. They play, I forget who they play next round. But regardless, I mean, they're looking good. I think they're a team that you don't want to see get a lot of confidence, OKC, just because where they're at,
nah,
the sky's the limit. They play together, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Them young boys been going crazy. Like
they get united. Oh, they play the Mavericks. That's gonna be a good series. A lot of offense.
So how you feel about like that matchup? You got Luka and Shea.
So I want to say we got Luka and the Mavericks taking that one because of experience, but honestly, there really isn't more experience on the Mavericks in comparison to OKC. Now, granted, I don't think anyone in OKC has been to the playoffs besides, I think, Gordon Hayward, but Gordon Hayward's not getting burned like that. But Luka hasn't gone that far either. The only one with a ring I want to say on top of my head on the Mavericks is Kyrie. And Kyrie's balling.
Yeah.
I think Kyrie's an elite number 2. He's never really been able to lead a team on his own, but when he's like, you know what I mean, a number 2, he's good.
Yeah.
I think OKC has the better team, but the way the Mavericks have been looking, it makes you want to easily choose them. But I mean, the Thunder got the Pelicans out of there.
Yeah.
Like easy
swept.
So
like
my initial take is I want to say Mavericks, but they're so inconsistent when it comes to, like, it's gonna be defense for them.
Yeah.
Like Luka's gonna have to play defense. Kyrie's gonna have to play defense. If they slack a little bit defensively, I think
it's
OKC
over.
got it.
Yeah, they going. Yeah.
So my initial take is I want to say Mavericks because it would be like blasphemy to say that. They got an experienced coach, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I think the way OKC's going, let them get a little bit of confidence. I can see them taking them out of there too.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't come down to too many, like, fourth quarter plays, the Mavericks might have a little bit more than it takes. I want to see what the regular season is between the two.
Dang. Also, who else? Okay, so how you feel about Indiana this year? Your boy Halliburton.
Man, they've been up and down. A lot of people been on Halliburton head because he kind of like blew up in the preseason or in the early part of the season. And then I guess he got hurt and whatnot. But we haven't been seeing him be talked about as much. But I think at the end of the day, him being out there makes Pacers so good just because it's not necessarily him just scoring. But, I mean, that's the NBA assist leader for like the last couple of years. So, I mean, Pacers is another team that kind of remind me of the OKC. If they get the win behind them, they tough to stop. Like,
well,
a
they
little
lost
bit of confidence.
Tonight. That's what I was like. They lost tonight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, to the Knicks. Yeah. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the Knicks beat them for most of the regular season too, though. if I'm not mistaken. But that was a good game though. I was watching the end of the fourth quarter of that one. Yeah. The last few minutes, it was just a couple sloppy possessions from Indiana that led to the Knicks winning it. I think the Knicks have kind of figured out their rhythm. So when it comes down to fourth quarters, they're tough to beat. Like if you're in a neck and neck game, because I mean the Sixers found that out real easily too. I think they're the way better team. Honestly, I think New York's way better. But like I said, I think the Pacers they gonna play with a lot of heart. So I mean,
facts.
But they're gonna need some like the way Jalen Brunson's putting the team on his back, 40 every night, 40. You know what I mean?
Goddamn, so my career, nigga. Yeah, he going crazy. Yeah, facts.
If he can keep that up, then I say they got a lot of success headed their way too.
Facts.
And New York gonna be behind them.
Facts.
So
Knicks gonna take it this year. You know, they gonna ride hard.
I don't know about that, but then they got the Cavs and Celtics matching up.
Nah, that's what they gonna say.
No, yeah. No matter what, they win one game and it's Knicks for the win. Yeah, that's how they feel. The Celtics should win. I don't think it should be any like Donovan Mitchell had to score. I think it was like 90, almost 80. It was like 89 points the last two games to get the Knicks to beat the Magic, and the Magic are not. Like, I mean, respectfully speaking, I mean that's a super young team too. That they were just a lottery team.
Yeah, but they had a pretty good
They
season.
turned it around. They turned it around. But so we'll see how that one goes. But I think my easy pick is gonna be Celtics. But the Celtics are so consistent at being inconsistent. Like their true savior is Derrick White. Derrick White be saving them.
Facts.
So I mean, it's just gonna be really just Derrick White show.
Yeah, facts.
On the top.
Get him in.
Yeah, that's right.
Just drop 3, go crazy.
So I think this playoff is gonna be interesting because now, like I said, we've seen a little bit of a change into the guard, man. I thought it was interesting too because I think that the NBA hasn't done too much when it comes to promoting the next superstars. You know, they've been hanging on to what's tried and true, trying to keep LeBron and Curry at the forefront.
That's what I'm saying.
And they try to do the Joker thing, but I think the problem with Joker's like, I don't really. I just come here to play basketball. I'm out. I'm not really worried about doing all this press conferences and doing all this stuff.
He literally, exactly.
So I think they trying hard right now to find like, okay, who's gonna be the next people that we can put at the forefront because if LeBron bounces next season, then they gonna start sweating because the Warriors are on decline. All them dudes getting old.
Facts.
KD. I mean, so it's like, who's our next? What do we do? Because if LeBron and them gone, I don't know if the NBA could sustain where they at numbers wise without him and then Curry, all that kind of stuff. So they gonna make them boys play till they 50. That's their only shot. And keeping things in sports, I makes a the craziest rebirth, at least to me. WWE, man, they went crazy.
Facts.
They had a legendary WrestleMania 40 in Philly. Not only the stories was crazy, but
shout out to that because let me tell you, them niggas had over 75,000 people in that arena. In
the cold.
Facts.
In the cold.
Like, shout out. Like, that's
not no marquee city.
That's what I said, like, when we was, like, watching, like, actually, like, over the years, like, how this shit really been, like, going on. That's sick work. Like, they had a crazy comeback this year. Shout out Cody Rhodes, Rock, Roman Reigns, all of them, for real.
I think I've definitely been invested. I mean, if you know, on my little Benji channel, I've been playing the WWE game. But I've definitely kind of got back in and really been back digging into all like the storylines and everything what's going on with everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out the Usos, the bloodline. That's what I'm saying. Shout out your boy Jay for sure, man.
Yeah. I think there was definitely a lull at one point, but I think they making like wrestling cool again. I went to a Raw show too. I mean, I got a vlog on that too, but that was a good show. Like they doing it. They doing it big. So I gotta salute wrestling. I'm at the point right now where I'm more tuned into wrestling than I am like boxing and UFC because I know there was a good point in boxing where most of the top guys were ducking the top guys. So you're just watching the top guys beat up on no names. With all due respect, but there was.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the number one guy fighting against a guy that doesn't necessarily bring that type of draw. So I think it was good though that we got to see Haney and Garcia battle, but Garcia put the pause on that boy.
Surprise to me. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you. Just I guess what my problem was, I took it into comparison of like how he fought. How he fought Tank, and that's like a whole different caliber. Now that you like, not even now that you like, if you even going back to looking at like his previous fights, like just Devin Haney and everything like that, and really comparing the two now, like Tank's definitely more of a monster than Haney is, and just comparing that like from the fight now and everything like that to like my fault.
I think Tank can't be beat, but. There's some dogs though in his weight class, but he's kind of been out the way. I know Shakur Stevenson is dying to fight Tank, but I don't think Tank cares about it. I don't know if that does have the draw yet either though. I don't think Stevenson could pull that type of crowd just yet. I think Davis at the point where he just don't have to fight anybody. Yeah. I mean, I know he's about to fight Frank Martin. Frank Martin's a good fighter, so that one might give Davis a little bit of a challenge. But I mean, in that division, man, I don't know really much. I know Garcia. Funny enough, he actually went on the podcast to talk about basically all the trolling he was doing. He purposely did that to kind of draw views and traction.
Yeah, and like get in his head and everything like that. Yeah, I saw his podcast. And
I mean, that was something I originally assumed that he was doing. I just didn't understand the purpose other than like the old. All publicity is good publicity kind of deal. So even if you're doing like dumb stuff, you're going to be able to draw eyes. Yeah. So I guess he was able to turn the table so badly that it really fooled Vegas, and he was able to bet on himself, and he won like $12 million. But
tough.
I think, and he was saying in the podcast, like, I could do it again. I personally don't think that anyone would believe anything he has to say, just because I think he took. There's like trolling, and then I think he started taking it like super far because he was talking about kids and religion. He was doing a little bit of stuff that I don't think anybody would take him seriously moving on forwards from, or you shouldn't at least.
What's your girl? What's your girl name? White girl, the like real dry one.
Oh, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. There you go.
What about her?
No, I was saying like in comparison, like if he was talking about like trolling and everything.
Oh yeah. But I mean, Garcia was up there talking about like Muslims, and then he was talking about Satanism, and he was talking about abandoned kids and kids being this and being mistreated and assaulted. He was talking about weird stuff. He's like, I got videos of this stuff, and that was his trolling, which I think is not something to necessarily troll about, because like I said, those are like kind of serious topics. Yeah. Outside of boxing, that people would at least listen to you for your stance on. And
definitely considering like the caliber that you're at now. Like I mean, after the fight and everything like that. I mean, it wasn't like a title championship. Like it wasn't like he got the belt. Like Haney still has his belt.
But that's the thing. That's another fault of Garcia's though, because it was supposed to be a title match, but because Garcia was overweight, he didn't qualify to actually win the belt. So regardless if he won or lost, he wasn't gonna be able to win or lose the belt. And that I thought may have worked in Garcia's favor. I'm sorry, Haney's favor, because I was like, if Haney loses to Garcia in this situation, I didn't think that Haney would be able to command a fight like that again. At least to be able to draw the numbers that he was able to draw from Garcia, because at the end of the day, Garcia does have the people in the palm of his hands. Like, he doesn't have too many reputable fights under his name, but because he figured out like the social media thing before a lot of them, and really knows how to use his name and use these press conferences to draw viewers to a fight, he can draw in big fights without even necessarily having to have the resume to prove it. Yeah. But I just like how he went about it, all the extra trolling. Like, it was cool trolling. Like, I'm just one for trolling, but like I said, some stuff he was talking about with the kids and stuff like that, I didn't agree with that. And he surprised some people. He didn't really surprise me. I did have my money on Haney, But I was open to the fact that Haney likes to take a lot of hits. So I was like, if he gets hit, that could probably swing the fight. And yeah, he definitely swung the fight. And he didn't adjust. While I was watching the fight, I was like, man, this dude Haney's not adjusting to the one shot that everybody knows Garcia loves to throw, which is that left-handed hook. But
yeah, I was watching like around like the 4th round, but I was kind of out that night in the same sense. So
I was locked in Mexico with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that vlog was sick. Yeah, go ahead. Shout out to the vlog. Yeah.
I know that they're trying to rematch. Now they're talking about possibly that Garcia may have taken performance enhancing drugs and this, that, and the third. But I think Haney said even if he did or didn't, he wouldn't fight Garcia unless he had to make weight, and he wouldn't be allowed to like swell back up to his normal weight. So he had to probably put like a water clause up there. And the same thing, Garcia said he would fight Gervonta Davis and he would beat him, but they would have to fight at, I think it was like 137 or 140. I think 145 or something like that is where Garcia was saying he would fight.
What the hell?
He would fight Davis at, because before they fought, like Garcia had to lose a lot of weight to try to fight him, and they had a water clause, so like because a lot of them dudes will lose weight, and then you can like not eat the day of the weigh-in, and so if you don't eat whatever, you're good, but then once you go back, you drink water, you eat, you'll go back to your regular weight. So they put a clause in him saying that he was limited to a certain amount of meals, a certain amount of water, so he had to stay at that lighter weight. So Garcia was when he lost, he was like, it was because I was out of energy, I wasn't myself, whatever. Because, at the end of the day, it isn't really safe for you to drop a lot of weight really fast.
Yeah.
And then go out there and fight somebody.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that he's on the same level as Tank, regardless. I think Tank's too skilled, but I guess we only can see. I am excited about the next Tank fight. I know I saw a little bit of the Canelo fight. Canelo kind of surprised me. I thought he was going to get Buddy out of there a little earlier. Mm-hmm. Canelo just, I guess, gonna fight until he's 80. I don't know why. He just keeps going. I don't know why he's still trying to fight.
I fight either. I was like, damn.
But yeah, so that one to 12. That one went to 12. I'm not really too excited about anybody in UFC. I know Sean O'Malley is making noise because they talking about he might fight like Jake Paul or something like that. Jake Paul is about to fight Mike Tyson. I don't know. That's my next point too, though. I don't think that Jake Paul can fight anybody. June. Yeah. June or July. But I don't think Jake Paul, because I think the argument that everybody's been making is that Jake Paul has come in and made a show of boxing, and I don't think Jake Paul can fight a boxer. Not necessarily that he's not talented enough, but I don't think, like I said, the draw thing. It doesn't make sense for Jake Paul to fight anybody. Let's say if he was to fight a champion at his weight, the only person with something to lose would be the champion, because they would be like, oh, you lost to Jake Paul. And he only has like 8 fights on his record. But it don't make sense for Jake Paul to fight somebody else that has 8 fights. Yeah. Because then you're just getting a payday because you're fighting Jake Paul. Yeah. So I think Jake Paul kind of
like as big as his like name, as big as his like name is and everything like that. Like, and then like how you said, like he only has like 8 under his belt type shit. So I feel like his name is too big to really say like he's a boxer now. Now his brother, like Logan, like that's a different story. Like he already has his belt and everything like that. Shout out to Logan Paul as well. He's
still staying in WWE.
I don't like going back to sports and everything like that. They're like, they've been going crazy with it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like the stars and everything. I didn't even know Logan was even in WWE. So,
dudes they gotta figure it out.
Some like the Prime deal and everything like that. I'm gonna say
massive deal.
But his name is too high to be sitting here saying like, okay, like, because anybody else that's like under him or anybody else that like has like, okay, they're 8-0, they'll be like, okay, like I lost to even if you did lose to him, that's still a big pay cut to you because his name is like.
There's no benefit for for Jake to fight somebody who because in boxing typically it's for you to get a championship fight you would have to have a certain amount of fights or beat a certain amount of formidable opponents. And most people who have fought like the same amount of fights or something like Jake Paul has fought haven't really fought anybody. And they're probably, let's say if we would put a number on it, let's say they're making $20,000 a fight. Jake Paul's making $20 million a fight.
Yeah.
And I got the same record as you. So you can't do anything for me. Mm-hmm. And if you come into this, now you're gonna make, instead of your $20,000, you're gonna go make $2 million.
Yeah.
And that's unfair. So if you win or lose, it doesn't matter because you only have 8 fights. It doesn't matter. So, but then the problem is, then Jake Paul, he can say, I'm gonna bring these amount of viewers into the next fight. I deserve to fight somebody with a name, a champion, or whatever. But then the champion, that's why I feel like boxing got to a weird place, because most of the champions are ducking people.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to lose. Like, that's why I salute Haney for at least fighting Garcia, because there was a chance he was going to lose. Most of these guys fight the lower lanes so they don't lose their belts. Like, I respect Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford for going at it, but Earl Spence got destroyed. He got destroyed.
That fight was, I was like, we was at the
we watched that. Yeah, it was crazy. But
I was like, shout out.
I don't think there's anywhere for, like, Jay Paul's is in a weird place, but I think he's gonna have to do like celebrity fights or something like that, because it just, most of the boxers won't fight him, because then, like I said, the stigma will become, you lost to Jake Paul.
Yeah.
But even though they'll benefit because there'll be a big payday for them. But I guess for them, if they beat him, then I guess the argument is you should have beat him.
You only got. So
but
even still riding that, like, if you look at it from a business standpoint, I mean, hey, he's still bringing in a lot of bread,
that's
brother.
What I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you take the payday for that day? Because for your resume, you can say, I mean, for you personally, you made the money, but then, do you get to add that to your resume and be like, I beat Jake Paul? And I don't know. I think that's why I said I think Jake's in a weird place, because no matter how good he gets at boxing, he's gonna get discredited.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, he's in such a weird place where he can't just go the regular path of a boxer where he can just work his way up.
Facts.
Because
he's kind of already been in this industry. And
he's too far gone.
Yeah, that part.
I think so. That'll be interesting to see what he does. I mean, but I did see that the Tyson fight actually will be a legitimate fight. Like, it won't be an exhibition. It'll actually go on both of their records. So for one, I think Tyson, that's wild for you to do at like 50 years old. But now, Jake Paul, you can't lose against Mike Tyson, because then, like I said, that puts you back in that weird position. So I think that'd probably be a good one to catch.
Mm-hmm. I mean, from the training videos and everything they've been dropping, they've been going crazy.
Yeah, so we'll see. It'll all come down to, like I said, when they get in that ring and whether the jitters shake off or not.
Yeah, facts.
So I slide the jitters off into what's been trending right now in entertainment. Has been the Drake and the Kendrick battle. They've been going at it back and forth, starting from who knows when.
Who you taking right now? Who you taking? I'm not gonna lie.
So me and him talked about it already. I got Drake taking the L right now. I think Kendrick's up, and I want to say it was up until. Even at Euphoria, I was still like, okay, 50-50. Mm-hmm. But I think the last couple songs, I really wanted to push Kendrick over the edge, because I started looking at, obviously, I think Kendrick is a better lyricist than Drake.
Yeah.
But Drake's no slouch. Drake is going to be better at making a bop. Drake's got enough diehard fans.
Getting those views, getting those clicks. They're like, yeah, that's definitely. Mm-hmm.
The song that people will stream.
Yeah.
Or I will say stream publicly. Because Kendrick does crazy streaming numbers too. Like, if you look at all his disses are doing better numbers than Drake's. Like, they're old, and I think I want to say the person that Drake last passed before Bad Bunny for streaming was Kendrick. But Kendrick doesn't drop. So
facts.
Drake drops a lot more.
A lot more than Kendrick, yeah, I would say.
But at the end of the day, that was the biggest narrative. So most recently, Kendrick took the narrative of trying to, drop the disses and make them little bops. Mm-hmm. But why I say he's been beating them is because I feel like he's been better lyrically, but he also has been better performance-wise. Like, there's the Meet the Grams. I think he was, he changed up how he was approaching it. It's not just me dissing him, but I'm talking to his son. I'm talking to this. You can feel the vitriol in his voice when he's talking. But I think he really was just making some big claims that granted, all said and done. 'Cause I mean, Drake made some good songs too. I just think he was just making claims. When it got to a certain point, he was making certain claims. Yeah. And Drake wasn't addressing them properly.
Yeah.
Because when he started calling them the pedophile joint, he didn't respond for a while until he most recently did. And I don't think he had a proper response. What do you think?
At all. But he talked about his artist, Dave Free or whatever. Like he posted the heart, whatever. It wasn't really honest.
It was like
it was like you say. It was like in the end, he had like that little dialogue where he was saying he was dropping off facts, but you didn't really address anything.
Didn't really
like
disprove or disprove anything.
Yeah, like
because I think the only thing he's truly set up to this point about Kendrick that may have people like did he or did he not is where he was saying he was putting hands on his wife.
Yeah,
and I mean he said the kid's not his, but like his proof of that was him saying like, dude, she follows him and he's putting hearts under your picture. But I heard a good point that if this is Kendrick's man, so I guess we'll try to string it all together. One big thing that Drake said was he was talking about Dave Free, which is Kendrick's business partner, and he was saying that, or his man, longtime friend, whatever the case may be, but he was saying that it's possible that this guy may have fathered one of Kendrick's kids. Yeah. And his proof of that was he's putting hard eyes in the comments when he's talking about the kids, and his wife follows her, which I think could just be the sign of like this is a longtime friend. Maybe even to the point where this is my kid's goddad.
Yeah.
My kid's godfather. So I mean, he could just and like so. I think Drake even said something like, "You haven't seen the kid in months." Kendrick is Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I could be on tour. I could be doing business. Plenty of things where I won't see my kids.
My kids for months.
And so my guy can be around them because he's helping me out.
Yeah.
So the only other thing I think people were saying was like, okay, like I said, I think there may be some validity to it where you could say he may have put hands on his wife, which is probably also invalid, but that's the only thing I guess you could argue that's up in the air. Because I guess the only way, the only way the internet would believe it would be if his wife said no, it didn't happen. But you would really need more proof to really prove that. So I don't know off the top of my head what bro was saying that
really,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you feel me?
Because if we just talking about shock factor, I mean, Kendrick went and said, I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you handle women. I don't like the women you deal with. I don't like the way you rap, anything. It's even to the point where he called him a culture vulture and pointed out that this guy lived his life as a white man, and then when it became convenient, tried to fall into this I'm a thug kind of, I'm pulling the strings for OVO kind of persona. Yeah. And then even validated that by saying, you know, when you check in with the Mount Rushmore in Atlanta right now to try to prove yourself, and Drake's only response to that was then saying the N-word. I know it's weird, like I told you about, but the weirdest thing I ever seen Drake do was put the blackface on. Yeah. I didn't understand why he never did that in his life. To this day.
It was a lot of. That's what I'm saying. It was a lot of. It was a lot of pictures. That's why I was like scrolling through like over.
But he never really
it was like on Metro. It was like on Metro's Twitter, and it was like so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Metro can just sit down. he just needs to sit down. I get it. He kind of stirred this up. He just needs to sit down. Yeah. But I don't think any diss off the top of my head that Drake has shot at anybody was anything different. Like calling Rick Ross a CEO, people have been doing that for years. Yeah. Rick Ross has admitted himself in songs and in interviews that he was a CEO. And I don't think that's new information. He called Rocky a model. Everyone has been saying that in life. He told bro, go have kids with Rihanna and just go chill. I don't think Rocky's going to argue that. Fine. I don't think any man will argue that. That's no problem. I'm
Rihanna's my baby mama.
I'm cool. I'll go chill, lay up in her.
Facts.
Yeah. So
she had my first seat. Like what? Like
nah.
And Rihanna's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, even just to go back into like music, like that's just like so crazy. Like Rihanna's not no regular. No, she's not no regular person. So
I don't think that there was much that. Like I said, once Kendrick kind of addressed these things and Drake didn't really bounce back. Yeah. Like even talking about how he was messing with these girls and how his dudes was probably messing with women and trafficking women and stuff like that. And your response was there would be paperwork on this, and he literally said, what was his words?
He said everything.
Why am I not in jail?
Yeah.
That's like if I'm lying, why am I
like why you can pay anybody off? Like I mean,
well, if I'm lying, why are my pants not on fire?
Facts.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of those weird. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's even like I was talking about the Euphoria track. Like the Euphoria track's about. I mean, Euphoria the show has a very powerful figure that is having relations with kids.
Yeah.
And he getting away with it. Mm-hmm. So I think it was a perfect contrast for Kendrick to use that to Drake. Because, like I said, even the girl that was on video getting kissed by Drake while she was underage, she's going up there talking about something. It's not a big deal to me. So there's plenty of women that will just live for the life to be like...
Just to say, like, oh yeah, I did this with Drake.
You know
I did
this
was like, I
mean, and they not gonna have no problem with it.
Exactly.
Like what?
Because it was even like that little like even like going back like how I said earlier, like I think like SZA said she was like, oh, I used to mess with Drake back in like 06 or something like that. And so I'm just like, I mean, that goes to say like a lot of these people really be like telling on themselves without even realizing that they're like telling on themselves. Because I don't even, how old is SZA? SZA's like.
She's grown.
Yeah, she's grown.
There's even clips though, because Drake was hanging out with the Sierra Canyon, the high school, women's basketball team, for like a couple years.
Damn, she's like 34. She's 34 right now.
Yeah, she's probably about the same age as Drake.
Yeah,
but when did Drake become a high school women's basketball supporter? Now, I'm not saying he can or can't. Thought it was interesting though for all the places for Drake to be. He's at random high school games. Interesting.
Okay, never even knew that. Hey,
yeah, this is like stories on an interview talking about it.
Yeah,
and I mean he was visibly there. Like they got him on video at games. So he's like, oh, you know, there were some stars on Sierra Canyon. Like Juju was there. You know, Juju was a big time baller, obviously. But
my wife,
yeah, she's doing her thing. But. Okay, let's say Drake didn't do that with no women. Then Kendrick also said, "Bro, y'all are running a trafficking ring."
Yeah,
and he didn't necessarily address that.
No.
The one thing Drake did address, which was where Kendrick was like, "You have a daughter that you're not showing love to." Drake was saying, "Well, we got you because we actually." We're feeding you false information.
Like that was false information or something like that.
And so we got you, and we didn't even give you enough information for you to really do your research. So it's funny that you really run with it without doing your research. I thought that was a lie. Because if that was the case, how out of all false information, the only thing you gave him was a daughter. So Kendrick talked about, I've been getting, because when the earlier track, she says, I already got, don't make me spaz out because I've been talking to somebody in your camp, and I got plenty of information on you. If you heard that and you had a mole in your camp, then something happens. Like one or two, you know, like either we stop this beef right now and we figure out who the mole is, or let's say you went the route of giving him false information. Why did it stop at just me having a daughter?
Yeah.
And like I said, out of all the other things that he's addressing about you being a colonizer and this, the one thing you thought was important was let me tell this guy that I have a daughter.
I have a daughter when I don't.
I don't believe that to be true.
Yeah.
And you could even if you went that far in a beef to give out false information about yourself, I thought that a daughter would be a strange piece of information to put out, and to stop there, because knowing how petty Drake has been about everything, I would see him going out and being like, "Oh, this is the guy you were talking to," and dropping screenshots or something like that.
Yeah.
And I would assume that if you had a mole as well, you would have garnered information from Kendrick Lamar.
A lot of information.
Because why would this only work in one direction? I just
and something that's small. I mean, not as small, but like just something to say like, oh, like I have a daughter when I don't. Like you could have wig is like if you have a mole, like you said, if you have a mole in your camp, so to say, like why is something like that out of all things that's been gathered, that was the only thing you depict from the shit. So,
and I guess because he was thinking about it like in terms of shock factor, like because that was the craziest thing that when Pusha T did to him, he was like, "Look, you have a son that you behind him for the world." The funny thing about it too, though, was what Drake denied that originally too, and then later popped out, like, "Okay, I do got a kid."
Yeah, he put it in the song.
How can we still say that this guy doesn't have a daughter? Yeah. And let's say the specifics of the information are just wrong. Maybe he does have a daughter. Maybe she's 3 and not 11. Maybe she's, 8 and not 11. Mm-hmm. But like, or maybe it's a son. You know what I'm saying? So, I just thought that should be kind of weird. I thought that'd be weird.
Watching the game,
I thought it was weird to just bring that up out of anything. Out of all the things that he'd been talking about you, to bring up that, actually, kid. Mm-hmm. That kid line that you thought was so hard, it wasn't true. I got you there. I got you, buddy. I don't know. I didn't think that to be true.
Gotcha, bitch.
I thought that was mad fake information from Drake. So that's why I felt I felt like he just pulled that off the internet because that was an early story coming online. People were talking, what if he made that up and tricked Kendrick? And I think Drake just ran with it because he didn't have anywhere else to go. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, actually, I'm calculated, and I actually gave you fake information. And like I said, if you, there would have been a harder punchline, I think, to it, and that's the next problem. If I were to give information like that, who's to say Kendrick would even drop that information?
Yeah.
Let's say I told this guy that I had a daughter, and then he's so eager, like Drake said, to drop that information without you doing proper research. How did you know he was going to say that in the song? Because you could have just told him something, and they could have looked at him and said, I don't believe that. I'm not going to say it. What made you so sure that he would say it?
Yeah.
And so let's say he does say it. How did I just don't understand you just can't be, you weren't that calculated. You weren't that calculated to give the ops information for them to immediately leak it for no reason. Like, because it doesn't do Kendrick anything to drop the information unless they would be like, oh, I got the biggest one up on you.
Yeah, like.
But I said, his whole focus of all of his songs wasn't about a kid. The whole focus was about Drake being a culture vulture and a child molester or whatever. So that was.
And didn't answer back to none of it. And then you tried to say like his man's is his actual Kendrick's son is actually his man's, like he's a father. That shit, however you want to put it.
I thought it was strange.
Yeah.
Speaking of beef too, we also had Chris Brown and Quavo beefing.
Aside from like the last song, I haven't really been reading much on it.
Yeah, I haven't checked back in with them.
Yeah.
I guess the next time they see each other, it'll probably be beef.
Yeah.
I thought that was just strange beef. Like, I think Drake and J. Cole probably have something serious going on because they're so tapped in with the industry that I'm sure they're at the point where money's getting stripped away, like one way or another, because they control so much in the music industry, whether the connections they got or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't want this guy in this city. We're not doing this. Drake can command so much money from UMG, a Universal Music Group. Kendrick can command so much money from a label I can influence brand deals. I can influence sponsorships. You're talking about streaming numbers. Also, somebody made a good point too. That after this, it could sway the careers of both of them because it can get to the point where even if they're not being truthful, there's enough information that can come out that will then make a lot of brands say, I'm good. Mm-hmm. And so they could have fumbled a lot of bags. And like I said, they're both rich. But y'all make, at the end of the day, your main source is your music. So, I don't know.
And that's gonna be crazy too. That's gonna be a crazy time in hip hop. Like,
I don't know how they bounce back from that. And that's kind of another reason why I think the Chris Brown and Quavo kind of stopped, because, like I said, if that got too bad, and it was like I think they're supposed to be finished, but I also think it was pointless because the end of the day, that stemmed from them messing with a woman that doesn't mess with either one of them.
And she's about to be married, or she's married to like somebody. That's what I'm saying. Like, she doesn't care. So like, to be sitting here like, I don't even know. Like,
was there a winner in that one?
Chris Brown.
I say Chris Brown too, but
like,
I think he chose a great way to go because he chose the X, which is Sweetie. When, like you said, if you go after the X, no matter what, she's gonna be vindictive of the most recent man.
Yeah.
So no matter what, she was gonna sit there and be like, whatever Chris Brown is saying, I'm gonna agree with it because I don't like Quavo. So, like, you saw she posted her DMs of this guy DMing her.
Yeah. And that's like, what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that actually like worked. That definitely worked in like her favor, in his favor, as far as long as for like the beat.
Disliked them.
Because she just like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
they were just talking about some dumb stuff. They're both talking about like who beats more women.
That's from like that. Yeah.
Weirdo behavior, I think, from as a whole.
As far as like, but yeah, as far as like it goes, I'm not gonna lie to you. Even like I said, just had to pick sides. Like, yeah, like I'm sorry, like Chris Brown,
yeah,
but like because I fuck with Quavo and everything like that. But when I really actually sat down and like went back and listened to, but not even like just going like streaming wise, like really just like career wise and everything like that. I really picked Chris Brown because like when you look back at like really Quavo, like how you said, we was on the phone one day, but Quavo is the most like charismatic one. Out of all, like when they were all like coming up and everything like that, he was a charismatic one. He was the one like when you put in front of the camera, he was the trender. But as far as like how you said, like their sole careers, their music, I'm taking Quavo as like the least Migo, the third Migo. I'm not gonna lie, as far as it goes.
No, I agree. I think even to that point, for bro to be like, you the worst out of the group, and then for me to then follow that up with bringing help from. I'm sorry, rest in peace, but like help. God.
That's why I said like I can understand that. Like, okay, you did the first track. Okay, it was just you, so you could say like, hey, you made a record where it was just like yourself, but in the same sense, like he had help. Chris Brown didn't have no help. Chris Brown didn't have no help at all. He went for no matter whether he sung or rapped, he killed you. Like,
and I think it's one of those cheat codes.
Yeah, and that's literally where it goes.
If you pull somebody from the dead, it's like no matter like if people critique you on that, it's like kind of messed up.
Exactly.
So it's like people are gonna just let it rock no matter what, because they don't want to be that person to be like, yo, that was trash, nothing like that. So. It was.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was one of them.
Weird.
Like literally, like yo, that was like one of them GTA cheat codes, man. For sure.
Yeah.
Like,
but you can't. I think he could have came harder.
Yeah.
You can't bring Takeoff back and be playing around.
Even that's what I said though. That's why I said even to have like Takeoff on that record.
Talking about some light skinned brown skin gonna divide the country. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Somebody worried about.
Yeah. Yeah, but
bad work.
Bad work. And then also, I remember they had the clips up there, like where it was like also talking about like the basketball shit. Like Chris Brown won like 2 seasons, but even like when he won, he called out Quavo or whatever. So I mean, like you know how the media just drag shit. So I mean, like
some of it's not.
Yeah. So damn, that nigga was going 6. I had to distract. Sorry, he was going crazy.
I could even talk about it, and that's something I talked about before. I could talk about the music. Is can women in hip hop exist without drama or sexuality? As a whole.
As a whole,
because
I feel like that's what makes. I feel like no, because I feel like that's what drives nowadays the way hip hop has driven for women. That's been the drive. Like sexually, if you have to go from Glow, Megan, Sexy Red at the top of the list right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Freaking, even just to take away from like that, you have the R&B artists. Like 9 times out of 10, you see them go on stage. They have damn near naked, but they looking good. They looking good. So I mean, like I feel like no, like you don't want to, because I feel like you don't want to hear no female come out talk about some on the corner at 16. Like, you don't want to hear it. Like, you don't want to hear that. Like, no, shake that ass, bitch. Like, what? Like, I feel like that's their push. That's what divides them from the male in hip hop. When you think about like, how
but then are we talking about talent then? Because like I said, we were talking about cheat code. If you showing your body as a woman, no matter what, it's tough for you to lose.
It's tough, yeah.
No matter what, no matter what's going on, it's hard for you to lose. So then, are we really? So that's what it goes. Are we then evaluating talent anymore, or are we just looking at this girl look good, or her content is this, or these girls are beefing, so we're gonna check in?
When it comes to like female beef, like female argue over, oh, your nails look better than mine. Females argue over shit like that all the time. So I feel like, female drama is always going to be brought up. Like, it's always going to be drama brought up between women. Because, but that's another conversation. But not even going to lie to you. I mean, like, as far as, like, it goes for them, like, drama-wise and everything, like, yeah, it's definitely a cheat code. Because, in the same sense, like, that's the same way women manipulate men nowadays in the same sense. Like, you sit here, be a little flirtatious or whatever, show your ass, poke it out a little bit like that, Maybe a nigga buy you a drink, buy you a house, who knows? The fuck? But definitely, it's a cheat code. But in the same sense, like, I feel like that's the way the rap game is going to go as far as, like, that's the way hip-hop is going to go for women for who's to say how long. Like, you don't see anybody really switching it up, and even if they try to switch it up, it's still not going to catch on right now with the way everything is going. Like, because the artists that are coming out now, they're
following the blueprint.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, who they were looking up to was, like, City Girls when they were coming out and everything like that. Who else was up back in the day as well, too?
So,
like, as far as,
are you saying more so? Because it sounds like the argument here is, that the women didn't exist, or hip hop didn't exist from women prior to sexuality being pushed and drama being pushed. Because just think about it, we could talk about early rap. You had Queen Latifah doing it. You had Lil' Kim, but then what started blowing things over the edge was Nicki Minaj coming in and beefing with Lil' Kim.
Who's the baddest? You also had females like Trina come out. Like, talking that shit. We go to the gangsters. Like, for real. If you really want to take it there, like, that's
so I don't think it.
Because that's really where it started. Because if you taking it back all the way back to, like, say like Queen Latifah, she wasn't showing her body. She was actually, like, rapping, or Salt and Pepper. Like, those are women that were actually in the game. Like, dang, it was another rapper, a female rapper. She had like a little thing on Netflix. Dang, I can't remember her name. I'm gonna go look it up later. But yeah, like, those were women. Those were women in hip hop that were literally actually, like, talking, and their voice, like, actually, like, meant something. Definitely when it came around the era of, like, selling sex, like, definitely, like, as far as, like, because Lil' Kim, she came out with fire at first, but then it was her body and everything like that. That's definitely what she started selling, which leads on to how, and then
Remy was talking that gangster,
and that's what I said. Remy,
same thing. Remy kind of beef with people
exactly.
Too. So so personally, I don't think it does. I don't think it exists. Definitely now, I think we're now women in rap are probably at the forefront of rap. To be honest,
but even look at when they, like, talking their shit, they still are selling, like, their body, still half naked in the videos.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So
there isn't a world in where they don't exist doing that. Like, that's why I think has led to female rap becoming so prominent, because they have found a way to utilize sexuality, and they found a way to keep beef flowing. And I mean, she's talking about the women that are at the front. Talk about the women that are at the front of the forefront right now. I could talk about. You know, plenty of women that aren't rapping about nothing, but they are at the forefront. Okay, I can say you got Nicki Minaj, you got Lauryn Hill. Sure, you got some talent. Then you got Ice Spice, you got Lotto, you got Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Sexy Red, Tierra Whack, Doja Cat. It's not a rapper, but they'll give Doja Cat. She does rap.
Yeah.
But, and you got Trina, Bia, Glorilla.
I consider her more of a pop star.
Okay.
Like more in that pop angle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She can rap, give it to you, but her sound is pop. Like
yeah. All these girls, Lola Brooke, Rico Nasty. I think half of these women only exist because they look good.
Yeah.
A majority of them, actually. Coyle Ray rebranded herself just to where she's not where she now. She's magically uber sexual. And that brings me to the next point too. I think that women in rap don't exist without No, I take it back. I'm not gonna say they don't exist. But the ones that get pushed to the forefront are at the forefront because of colorism.
Yeah. That's
my next point to make, because even if I look at the same list.
Elaborate on that.
What dark-skinned female rappers right now are at the forefront? The only one you could say on the top of my head is going to be Sexy Red. Sexy Red, I would say she doesn't count. Now, she counts because she's a dark-skinned woman at the front, but Sexy Red is a caricature. Yeah. And I continue to say this day in, day out. She was just at, I forget whose show it was.
Yeah.
But it was a country music show.
It was a country, I was like.
But I don't think, I think the aura that is Sexy Red, and I sound like a hater, but at the end of the day, that's my job. I'm a professional hater. The aura that Sexy Red puts out there and that I think people receive from her is entertainment.
Yeah.
So they're entertained by the character that is Sexy Red, because now I think she becomes the face of ghetto. She becomes the face of ratchet or whatever. We could argue whether or not that was her plan, but like if you, for example, let's say you are a white person and you're gonna say, man, I'm trying to listen to ratchet music. Who are you gonna think of?
Who you gonna think of? Yeah, that's true. Like
let's listen to some ghetto. So I think she's and I don't personally think of it that way. I think she just embodies this caricature that people may think of to be a ghetto or a ratchet woman or something like that. She embodies this character, so she fleshes out this idea or this thought or this word. And so I think that's really why people are gravitating to her, because.
But that's true if you also look at like the cliques, because then she tried to like but she was supposed to perform at like a school or whatever, and then like they wouldn't let her in. So she was like shaking her ass, smoking weed on the roof of her black truck. And so
I can't let you come in around the kids because there's a disconnect here.
Yeah,
we either can't resonate with your message, or you've done something that makes us believe that you aren't proper business for us to bring in here. So that's my issue with Shorty. She's embodied this character that isn't necessarily beneficial for the culture as a whole. She's doing a good thing for her family.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's up for sure.
She's a black. It's good. I'm rooting for a black woman doing her thing.
Yeah.
But I think that it's one of those situations where we're like, we're not laughing with you, we're laughing at you kind of deal. So it's like the people aren't necessarily cheering. I don't want to say cheering for her because they are cheering for her, but it's kind of like you said. We're like, what is she gonna do next?
Yeah.
And I think it's the wrong. We have a wrong perception of what we're actually attributing here to her success, and I kind of hate that. I kind of hate that for Shorty.
I mean, her numbers are going crazy right now.
Putting up numbers,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
just one of those things. It's one of those things for like entertainment. I'm not gonna lie, like how you just said, like she puts a face to the word ghetto. If you wanna brand it as a way of thinking, like, because even in the same sense, like if a white person a white person was to never go to the ghetto, but she has black friends,
we will think that every person is. We will immediately associate every black person with Sexy Red.
Exactly.
So if you were somebody who would look outside the culture and say, what do black people do? What does black people music? What do people of color listen to? What does someone of color look like?
Yeah.
What is their attitude like? How do they talk? How do they present themselves? This is the person you're going to see, and this is what then you will associate with these attributes of these people, this group. So I think it's more so that people view Sexy Red as a character. And so maybe that's good. Like you said, even so you said she's doing numbers. I think anyone will do the same numbers if they talk about the stuff she's talking about. Like, bro, you said my booty hole is brown. Like, just for somebody to go that far, like, just the shock factor of that alone will, I think,
but even when the song first dropped, it was still like, like the shock factor. That's what really hooked you. Like, I mean, first of all, the song is called Pound Town. Like, the provocative of that itself is like, you put those two words together, like, you already know what's going on. So, I mean, just to start there, and then, like, the way it's been going, like, I mean, and she's definitely, like, pushing women to be more provocative. I mean, women are definitely, like, more bold out here nowadays. They're saying what they want to say. Like, I mean, yeah, and that's also being looked at as, like, feminism as well. Like, I mean, like, oh yeah, like,
but being pushed to a certain angle and degree. And I'll even argue that it's not just the women, but the women are getting a bad rap when it comes to what they're pushing out in rap. Because the men haven't been putting out anything quality
at all. They've been
equally as disruptive to the community.
Exactly.
But I think we've had this argument for years that everyone was talking about the men are destroying the community, and we had the women, which could have possibly brought light to this, and they're tearing it down even worse. Yeah. So it's just like it's hand in hand. But yeah, I agree that she can become the fourth. At the end of the day, it's about representation. So even though Sexy Red may represent black people as a whole, but she gives a voice to the voiceless, which is even the people that necessarily ain't going through the stuff that she raps about. She gives those listeners, I think, an opportunity to try to feel that through her. So, just like you said, I mean, it's very easy for people to take her words as law. So, I mean, if I'm a woman, I might say F my baby dad too, because Sexy Red said it.
Yeah.
And because she said it, that means it's law. So I kind of hate that for it. And that's why I say, other than Sexy Red, because I think she's an anomaly. So, I mean, salute to her success, but I mean, like I said, there's a certain level on which you can draw.
Yeah, and as far as we taking it, as far as we taking it to, like, hip hop. Because, like, even if you...
Other than Sexy Red, is there other dark-skinned girls?
Yeah. Like, dark-skinned, definitely to say. Because Nicki Minaj is Redbone.
Ice Spice blew up in a year.
Yeah.
Being a Puerto Rican woman.
Facts.
Light-skinned Puerto Rican woman. Doja.
Yeah. Doesn't say Doja.
Bia.
Facts.
Lotto. Cardi.
Yeah. And then it's
Glorilla
even the worst.
Is light skinned.
Yeah.
But we can make the argument. We'll take Glorilla to the dark skin community. Coi Leray.
I don't know, man. Even if you still
Rico Nasty.
Yeah, dang. Even if we still was
Sweetie.
Yeah, Sweetie Redbone. Ruby Rose, I guess. I mean,
Ruby Rose.
You know what I'm saying? True. Yeah.
The forefront of...
But that's sad to say also
is because people are they're facing issues of colorism.
Yeah. Because
Beyonce.
Flo Milli, she's on tour with Gunna, and then, like, they were like,
she was
throwing
stuff at her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's the same to go with, like, Ariana Lennox. I mean, it's just like,
yeah.
But I'm also trying to compare it to, like, to hip hop. So, like, because I mean, like I was gonna go, like, with a lot of R&B women as well, but it's like nah, sticking it.
R&B women are absolutely destroying it. As anyone who's light skinned is absolutely killing it in R&B. Mariah Sciences is on tour right now, killing it. I said light skinned women.
Yeah. Oh no, you got it, brother.
I mean, Kehlani is doing R&B.
Yeah.
Kehlani is a white woman. We can argue that she does soul, but at the end of the day, but you can say the same thing. You can argue Jhené Aiko, same thing on R&B. Mm-hmm. You can argue she does neo soul. She does. Yeah. She's killing it as an Asian woman, a light skinned Asian woman. So I'm saying, I think these traditionally black spaces have been taken over by colorism. Like I even said in Afrobeats, Tyler's at the front, even though she technically doesn't even do Afrobeats. But she's at the front.
I was like, wow, the crazy. Yeah, she doesn't.
And like I said, Tyler's not even a black woman. I thought it was so interesting though. An interesting point though is that JP, how he's blowing up right now, doing this thing.
Yeah.
But funny enough, he's actually trained in music. Like he's actually studying. Like I forget what his concentration is, but it's in music. So he's classically trained. He has. Jazz history, stuff like that. And I think that's actually interesting since he is pursuing a career in music, that he's actually in school studying music. And I think that's good for the future of music, specifically hip-hop, because we have most artists which don't care about anything that's going on. And he actually can sing, he can actually rap and all that. So I actually think that's pretty.
That's what I said when he actually did like his on the mic shit. Like it was that performance was actually tough. Shout out to JP for real.
He doing his thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can even talk. Speaking on the color thing, dang. I don't know if you saw it, but it was Amanda Seales. She did an interview. I think I told you a little bit about her. From Insecure with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, I did not watch that one though, but I saw it.
Yeah, they were getting on her. I'm gonna touch on it because to me, regardless of not, she's a talented woman. She I think she did her master's at. Was it Columbia, or she went to Columbia first and then finished somewhere else? Regardless, she's got her master's degree. She can sing, so she's got some popular songs. She was part of a group. She's a talented actor. She was in Insecure.
I'm not gonna speak on something I don't know. So,
but
go ahead.
She spent a lot of the Shannon Sharp interview because prior to the interview, I had heard the name and I'd kind of seen the face, but I couldn't really put two.
When you said Insecure, together. That's when it reminded me. Like I was like, oh shit.
Yes. So it was tough for me to kind of put a name to a face, but that's when I figured it out. But I found it interesting because she spent a majority of a 3-hour interview, like just using shaming tactics and kind of becoming a victim and just victim blaming everybody around her. So it started off with her talking about her experience growing up and how she felt like children in her class were being racist to her and her teachers were being racist to her. And as she got older, she faced difficulties in school that were due to racism. And she had gotten in trouble with her music group because of racism. And then later got in trouble at Insecure because of racism, and then let her into parties because of racism. So I thought, okay, there may be a point, but there wasn't a point. It didn't really get to a point in the interview where she can say, I used all this negative things that were going on in my life to turn into a positive.
Yeah.
She kind of just used the interview to highlight that she feels like there's a lot of racism going on, I guess, which I can agree to.
Yeah.
But it's my argument. She's a light-skinned woman talking about racism, which, I mean, black women are one of the most protected classes, but I mean, we're being a light-skinned woman talking about racism I granted, I do understand that she was able to say that that she received some type of benefit from having these experiences and then being able to grow and come and get past them. But I thought it was a strange interview that she did, and that's something that sat on my head for a while. That she could have used her knowledge on the African American experience and with the things that she's got going on, her businesses and everything like that, to further the topic or further the conversation for black people and black women. But you kind of use it as an opportunity to say, "Woe is me," and that got people to turn against Shannon Sharp and say Shannon Sharp's a bad interviewer because he challenged some of the claims that she was making. Because Shannon Sharp he's gone viral.
Yeah.
We've seen people come on his show and just say whatever they want to say. And then somebody after them will be like, let's say the Cat Williams joint. People were coming up on his show just being like, saying this story and that story. And then Cat Williams would come in there and say, yo, that didn't happen. That's not true. So I can't blame Shannon Sharp for being skeptical of what people say on his show now.
Yeah.
But people were, but she kind of went and did that, and then went on a run afterwards after the show talking about how Shannon Sharp didn't make her feel safe, and that was just a super strange experience that she kind of voiced her. That this very strange experience that she went through.
Yeah.
And I think that it's one of those scenarios where you just invalidate the word of black women, which sucks, because now you've made things harder for the next black woman because you went into this. So I just dislike that.
Okay.
Another trending thing that was interesting. NFL draft happened, and for some reason it was a big talk about black men and why all the athletes have white women. Now I have my opinions, but I also have some things to push back on. So I'll start with that.
Okay.
Statistically, it is not true that the black athletes have more white women than they do their own race. So that's not true. But there are a lot of black athletes that marry white women or any other race or ethnicity. I don't think it matters. But I think a lot of who you end up marrying is just really, or dating or whatever, it's just indicative of your path.
Yeah.
If you grow up in Idaho, whatever the majority of the population is out there is probably who you're going to end up with.
Exactly.
You're going to have a different experience in Idaho than somebody would have in, let's say, Atlanta, Georgia. So I think people become ignorant to that and obtuse to that information.
Yeah, I was about to say, because if you really think about a lot of these big schools and everything that like be coming from, I mean, like the HBCUs and everything like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't sit here and say like there's not even to just take it from sports, just take it from like women itself. Like, okay, like a lot of the big schools that a lot of these athletes that got drafted from and everything like that. What's the population like? Well, you feel me? Like the percentage of white people there, 9 times out of 10 is 50%. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm not about to say here, but even within, if you want to take it from that, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so you go to all these parties, like, you feel me? You're not gonna sit here and say like you're a college superstar and you didn't go to a party not once or anything like that. You feel me? It's not. Like, it's all about the. Honestly, I'm gonna go to really just say
even
like,
if you just go to class.
Facts, it's not even about a party. Like, yeah, it's just like class. Like, I would just really go to like, it's about like, I mean, as far as to say like the placement, like that's really why they got like lucked up and everything like that. Because I mean, 9 times out of 10, if a female be like, oh, I want a dreadhead, I want a thug ass nigga, where they gonna go find them at? At the club. Like, he's not gonna, you feel me? He's not gonna be in school. He's probably gonna be in the mall. I mean, who knows where the fuck this nigga's at? But if you sit here and say you want an athlete or you want somebody that's actually trying to make something out of their life, you're going to find them in school. You're going to find them on the field. You're going to go to their games. Like, you're going to find that, but you're not trying to put in the work to do that. That's 9 times out of 10, the white woman that he was with, she put in the work to go to his games. They probably had a class together. Who the fuck knows? Like, you know, she's where she needed to be to get lucked up.
No, yeah.
So you can't sit here and be mad about, like, you can't sit here and be mad about when somebody chooses because of where their placement is. Like,
and I think that was the weirdest thing is that it's like this person's probably their biggest moment of their life up to this point is them getting drafted and them being on the TV, but the experience becomes riddled with everybody talking about who is that girl next to him and
like,
why
it takes
is she not
away
black?
From
like, that's not what
and that
I got drafted.
That doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't matter at all.
And then you gotta think about it too. These dudes are young.
Yeah.
Like 20, 21, 22, 23.
Facts.
Who's to even say this is gonna be my girl? She might get gone in 1 month.
Who knows? She might get gone after the draft party, nigga.
so what are we talking about?
For something in the moment. Like, and that's really a lot of stuff that like pushes nowadays, man. Yeah. People just be mad for the moment.
Upset.
Like, it's stupid. Like, yo, that shorty could have got. Like, that night, she could have just been my goblin for the night. Who knows? Like, what the...
No, I'm seriously. She could have just been the one girl of the roster that made it to the draft.
Exactly.
Everybody else was busy. Hey, all right. Whoever get hers first.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But let's just say this is someone who you took seriously. Then it just is who you took seriously. There's plenty, like I said, black men with black women. There's white guys with white women, whatever. I think the only issue becomes that people argue is that black women aren't there in some of these, and I guess in every scenario.
Okay, put it like this. Do you feel like, if you really had to look at it, do you feel like it's worse when a black man marries a white woman, or do you feel like it's worse when a black woman marries a white man? Viewed upon, like publicly viewed upon.
Oh, publicly it's viewed way worse when a black guy wears a white woman, because they feel like he went out his way and chose that. Mm-hmm. When I guess the idea, because like even the thought process of when Cali talking about I got a white man feeding me pasta lobster, that's the ideology behind it. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you better get you a Chad. He gonna treat you right. And that's kind of where it becomes, oh, he's got his stuff together. He's got good credit.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a weird, what are we trying to push here when black women do it? But I think it's celebrated versus, let's say if it's the other way around, oh, he don't like it. He's like, he was colonizing with it.
Yeah.
So it becomes weird. But I think that, like, universally, everybody looks at it bad when a black man is with a white woman or another woman. That's not black.
That's going to say like just the leniency of bullshit that goes nowadays. Because like, I mean, the same way you sitting here, you shaming this man, okay? You shaming this dude for like having a white shorty. Shorty, you're a hypocrite. Like, you go home to the same master. Like, you feel me? Like. So it's just like that's just going.
I think it's sick.
That's what I'm saying. It's sick, but like, to worry about that. Definitely for something that was pushed upon like in the draft and everything. Yeah. Like, this is supposed to be about me, and you sit here and view it upon who's beside me. Mm-hmm. Like, this has nothing to do with them at all. Mm-hmm. Like, this is my big moment. I made it here. I got drafted to the NFL,
and y'all worried about who's sitting next to me. That's the craziest thing ever. And you can always argue that white women treat you differently, or Hispanic women treat you differently, or Asian women treat you differently. I guess I think it's just who you're around at the time.
Yeah. And
yes, there's some cultural differences, but I mean, depending on where you're coming from, where they're coming from, and where the timing is works out. I saw some funny thing that people were saying. It's a white woman played a long game, which I don't know what that is, but I would assume anyone looking for a relationship would play the long game versus the short-term game. That was some crazy stuff I saw too. And there was this guy that went viral because he was talking about, man, white women, they package lunch and they're not overly dependent on the guy. They're cool with going to Starbucks instead of trying to go to Ruth Chris. I can make that argument. I think that is one, you're around the wrong women.
Yeah.
Anyways, because any woman that looks at you as a cash cow is not the right type of woman.
Right type of woman for you. Yeah.
Sure, you could make the argument if you're at a PWI, you could easily more likely run into the wrong kind of woman, one end or the other. But I think it's like you said, at the end of the day, it's just who you ended up liking or didn't like. Because there's plenty of people that date within the race.
The facts.
I think, like you said, I think it's strange to make the biggest day of these people's lives about who this woman is that probably won't be there in a little bit. So,
and even if she is, what does it matter? Like,
like you said, if it's something that you truly want to be upset about, become Dr. Umar. Be the person that really wants to inspire change in the community to the point where you become a drill sergeant about any time you ever see two people of different color interacting.
Facts.
I will police what everybody does. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be that, then be that. Don't worry about these people that don't know you. But unless you're talking about that on the podcast. But nah, I don't know. I thought that was funny. I got a little extra stuff up here too. Like a little okay, good point. Do you think it's important to be loyal in the talking stage, or do you think there is a talking stage?
How far is like okay?
Depends on you. I guess.
I mean, first of all, as far as I mean, when does you sit here and you ask like loyalty. When does loyalty actually kick in? Like, okay, could you sit here and say talking stage? What consists of a talking stage? Because 9 times out of 10, when you meet somebody, you have to talk to them. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could sit here and say anything is talking. I feel like it goes like that's why I said like elaborate. Because if you want to put it like that, when does loyalty kick in? Like, when do two people sit here and just say we're at a talking stage?
I guess it would also depend on how you define loyalty.
Yeah,
because you could be loyal to somebody by being honest to them, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're only exclusive to them.
Exactly.
Because I could be loyal to you, shorty, or she could be loyal to me because look, I got your back. I won't do anything for you, but at this point in time, we're not exclusive. So I think that is still you being loyal. But if you were to say if you're when y'all become exclusive, I don't think that's wrong. I think that we're at a point where like people are just so used to like casually like moving around and sleeping around. I mean, I think the world would be a better place if people were, because I think it's like that argument we were talking about. Damn, I just touched the mic. I think it's like the argument we were talking about when I was saying that like a lot of people I think nowadays find it to be a game of like it's a game of who gets over on who first. Yeah. I'm not gonna show him my feminine side because he's not gonna have me in here simping and crying. Yeah. And then the dudes, I'm not finna be nice to her because so it becomes this constant tug of war one way or the other. So I guess it also determines on when you actually feel like y'all are both trying to take this seriously somewhere. Facts. Because if y'all are both just playing around, then y'all are both just playing around. And I think that's something that has to be. But I feel like that's something that's why I feel like that's something that should be pushed upon though. Like if you want to sit here and just have fun, just say that. Like we shouldn't have to beat around the bush or nothing like that. I mean like, and plus it's also to the point like where it's pushing like, I mean like we're at a different time and age nowadays. Like I said, like like I guess like how you said like everybody's just like casually like moving around and everything. Like everybody's just in that stage where they just I guess have a select few or whoever they want to be around casually. Like whoever fits they starting 5 or however many they got. Hey, I don't know. But for the record, I don't think that's new. Because I mean, HFA was going around crazy during the 70s, 80s.
Facts.
So I don't think it's new, but I think that it's more widely accepted. I would say probably now. Like they even talk about like there's just so many differences now in how people date and mate nowadays. Yeah. But I could even say that at the same point. All right, so let's say when you're talking to somebody, when is there a point where you become like 100% yourself, or when do you become head over heels?
What do you mean, like?
So like, if you like a shorty, yeah. Do you just automatically start like, okay, let's get her a gift, take her on a date, and then should she like start being like lovey-dovey and like they worried about like, this, you know? Cook. Okay, so like I saw some joint, shorty was like, don't cook for a man that's not your boyfriend. I saw some joint say, don't cook for a man that's not your husband. Okay. So it's like when do you think these like should you start in going like 10% and then like work your way up? Because let's say. Go ahead, yeah. I was gonna let you go, but let's say you meet a shorty and you put in 10% of effort, and she gonna say, "Man, this dude be on BS," but you was only putting in 10%. And then let's say a shorty, you meet her, and you be like, "Man, this girl on BS. She don't do nothing for me," but she was only putting in 10%. And I just been to say like, maybe she is a wife, yeah, but she was not giving you her full self, and then maybe vice versa. You a husband, but you wasn't giving her your full self. True.
But that's like okay, like you said, like it's a tug. Like I said, like you said, it's a tug of war because everybody is really trying to like everybody waits for their right moment. Now, I guess like for me, like I'm definitely a big energy person, so I gotta feel that out. Like how you said, like 10%, and then that's my thing. Like it's also okay. Let me also before I even go dig into that, let me dig into also to say it's about like what you allow, what somebody's going to allow.
Yeah.
So if a person, if say you casually meet somebody or anything like that, it starts number. Cool, we'll do. Because, I mean, yeah, you sit here, have a little conversation, but eventually you exchange socials, numbers, whatever you do. So it starts by that. I feel like you automatically start with 10% when you meet somebody because you tell them the name, however you bag them, you feel me? But you get that opportunity to speak to them again, so to say. But even after that, like, okay, it's also about, like, how you can present the next opportunity for y'all to meet up, because yeah, you got my social and everything, but that's not to say that you're gonna respond. Like, I feel like that's why I said, like, pushing on that 10%, definitely, like, that's something that's granted for everybody as soon as you meet them. Now, when it pushes into something, it goes into getting to know somebody, woo, like, then it starts getting into that. Now, as far as it will go now, going back to what I was saying, like, as far as, like, digging into it, if this person has, I'm not even gonna say like a good personality. Well, like, if their personality is like what I like and everything like that, you want to dig into that. So then, like, you can feed off of that just either do as simple as conversation or even just through like texting. Because everybody, when you text somebody, you putting your energy into it. So the type of energy that you putting into a text message is like, yeah, you can't read too deep into what somebody's gonna say, but at the same sense, it's all about like what they're actually saying, like in the message. And if you can interpret how that person, 9 times out of 10, when somebody's texting, they're just putting down, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, how they would say it, in terms of like how they would say it. So if you can really read into that without reading too deep into it, you could really figure out, all right, whether I can put more into this person or I'm gonna just leave this where it's at, and it's just gonna be another number in my phone. And I feel like it's easier nowadays because the bluntness of women. Like, women go ahead and say what they want. Oh yeah, like literally, like just the other day, like we was out and you a broke nigga, I can't speak to you.
Yeah, crazy.
Like crazy. What? Like you just looked at this man in 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds. You calling this nigga broke. But we in the same place, same time. Like, y'all two are sitting there and saying, like, so that was just, like, sick work. I mean, nowadays you can, like I said, and then even going to say, like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, I mean, like, if that's what you're attracted to, hey, go ahead, spend your blow your check. Hey, do what you got to do. But as far as, like, what I like, I know what I like. And I know when I want to dig deep into something or if I want to dig deep into that. Because I can just tell off the conversation just where it's gonna go, and people present themselves. So you more think than like which
people should kind of start to progressively be more open-hearted and warm as they get over in time.
Yeah, like because if that it's all about.
What if you cut somebody off? What if you cut somebody off after them being dry, but they was like I said, they were only putting in 10%. You ain't my man yet. I can't give you all the sauce. What I'm saying, what if you cut her off that?
But it's about like a meet in the middle. Like I said, that's not what you want. Like if you giving 10% and she's giving, okay, then not even to say that, because for you to sit here and want to cut somebody off, you're obviously giving more than 10%. Because my 10% is just a basic. My 10% is just a basic conversation. Okay. We'll do like what you doing? How was your day? We'll do. That's 10%. Like casual conversation. That's what I consider like. But when you start digging into like going into like between 30-50%, you really want to get to know about that person. And I feel like when you reach that point with somebody and you get past attraction and you're like, okay, I actually want to get to know this person. Then it leads on to a talking stage. And cool, say you got the number. If we're putting everything like in a perspective, you got the number. Conversation is actually average. Cool, y'all may not talk every day, but y'all have some type of communication where y'all like, okay, we're gonna plan up a meetup. You plan the first link and everything like that, and then you actually start to get to know this person. That's when and then that's where you really can take it from.
That's
whether this is going to be my talking stage, like at 30, 50, or whether I'm going to just drop back to 10 and you're just going to be another number in my phone. Like, it goes from that. Because, like I said, you can get somebody's number, but that's not to say they're going to respond or even put in the effort to.
So when do people go? When should you be going 100% in a relationship?
When y'all have adjusted to that, when y'all have communicated and been like, hey, we're gonna be like, I feel like people should definitely be more on the forefront, because what a lot of people will do is they'll flaunt an image to keep going. Like, okay, because when even when a lot of people meet people nowadays, it's like they're flaunting an image that's not really them. So you already started off with a lie when you met this person. If you're that type of person, that's what I'm saying. But if you're a more like communicative person and you know yourself, you're gonna sit here and be like, well, this is me and I'm just giving you me. So if you're not gonna accept me at my 10%, why should I add the other 0 to make it 100? So I mean, like, that's really the way to dig into it, because I'm gonna start giving my 100 when I see you want me around. And that's my thing. Like, women say men, if he want to do it, he's gonna do it. But that's the same for women. If you want to do it, you're gonna do it. If you want to see me, put in the work to see me. Like, and that's something that men don't know how to communicate nowadays. Like, it's like, if you really want to sit here and go to like say it, you don't know how to have a conversation. 9 times out of 10, niggas is just ready to fuck. Like, I mean, like, women like to have conversations. Women want to have that shit like that. That's a whole other story. I'm giving y'all free game right now, bro. But I'm just going to say, be more upfront. Like, if I had to go on like this question, if you are more upfront, then you can start speaking about loyalty and speaking about, only us are messing with each other. And like I said, the bluntness of women. A lot of women. Just saying women, not even to say black women or anything like that, just the race of women. If she knows what she wants, she's gonna stick to that. So she's not gonna accept, and women don't settle for nothing. So that's already the way to go. Like, women don't settle. If they know what they want, that's what they're gonna have. And so it's just all about the nigga actually communicating. Or even in 10%, you can put in enough 10% literally just to be honest and be like, look, this is what I want. Yeah. If you not with this, I ain't gonna waste your time, shorty. That's like, true. Just the 10% of that. You look good. Yeah. We got a sexual attraction to each other, or I at least have a sexual attraction to you. Yeah. Let's see what we can make out of that. Rather than sitting here, lying, you gonna be my number one, you gonna be all this. When shorty, you're just getting crushed. I mean, what? Just getting hit.
I can agree to that. I can agree to that. So, like I say, I got a segment 2 to follow that up. It's what would you do? All right. So I guess the first one, I got 3 of them, but we'll see how far we get. The first one is, if time machines existed, what would be the first thing you do? I don't have an answer yet.
If time machines existed,
I think on the top of my head, I want to go see the dinosaurs.
Oh, facts. No, okay, facts. That's tough, cause that's tough. I ain't gonna lie, dang.
I would just have to I would have to have like one of them like joints off of the Avengers where it was like wrist. Yeah. Like, cause I gotta get out of there. I gotta get out of there. If stuff going down, I gotta get out of there, bro.
Like an instant, freaking like Rick and Morty. Like, he just got his gun and walk through the damn portal, like a portal gun type shit. That's it. Like, cause when I want to get out of there, we gotta get out of there. Like, I
don't think I'd want to go to the future.
No.
Only other thing I think I would do is I would go back, let's say, like 10 years or something like that in my life. Or go back to a specific point in life or a pivotal point in my life where I'd say if I did this differently and started handling things differently, I would have a different outcome in my life. So that's the only other thing I think I would do.
If that, I was about to say, if time machines, because I'm going to be real, like, when you actually love your life, you don't really give a fuck about going back in time and like do all that dumb. Like, but if it was presented in time, sure, I would go back and give myself a pep talk and be like, yo, nigga. Yeah. Like,
change this up.
Yeah, like change yourself.
Make these decisions differently.
Yeah. But if you had to pick like a subject to actually go back to, bro, I'm going back like to Biggie Pop days. I wanted to see how them niggas was living. Like, not no Diddy Party, but I mean,
no.
I mean, like, yo, back when that was like BMF. Like, yo, I mean, like, when niggas, you feel me? Yo, niggas was stepping.
I would want to be, because the 90s was a pivotal point in time. I really want to be a part of that. Like, for everything, like sports.
I'm saying.
Entertainment, music.
That's when everything was like people talk about the 90s, bro. Oh my God, that's when everything was. And it drove into the 2000s to really be like, 2000s, you feel me? They all built each other up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it all came to a good build up. For real.
Yeah, I'd love something like that. So,
but that's something I would want to go back, because, like, just the way, like, I mean, just everything's been presented definitely in our culture nowadays. That's definitely when I would like. I want to go see. I want to go see stuff like that. Like, let me speak to Queen Latifah when she was 20. Like, you feel me?
Going
like,
back. Okay.
Yeah, like that's why I want to.
I think the only benefit of me going in the future would be if I could still steal something.
Facts.
Like, if I go back and like a big company came out and I could take this and be like, let's get this started 10 years before they do.
Facts.
So that'd be my company or something like that. I couldn't. That'd be the only benefit I think of me going in the future.
Like, nigga, well, let me go back and talk to Bill Gates. Hey, how did you get so rich? Like, let's have some good, beautiful conversations like that.
Let me see. I'm gonna say some dumb stuff. I'm not gonna say that dumb stuff. I was gonna say let me be out there with MLK. I might not make it long. They might get me out of there.
Get me out of Memphis.
I don't want no parts. I just say, okay, and the next, what would you do? If you could be a character from any movie, who would it be and why?
If I could be a character from any movie, any movie. You wanna be real? I'm taking Scarface. I want to be Tony Montana.
Nah.
I want to. If I had to be a character from any movie, I feel like that movie Scarface definitely drove a path into like the world. I can't even just say like our community, the world itself, and like. Even though people would look at it and it was just a whole bunch of crazy Hispanics like killing each other, it was, if you actually look down into the, I can't even say message. Well, yeah, message of the movie. Like, Al Pacino was actually like talking shit. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, it spoke in like trust, honor, like meaning of your word, like your code, like what you gonna stick to. It showed the game. Like, it showed a lot of stuff. Not like I said, not just for the black community, for a lot. And I mean, and in the end of the movie, bro got shot in the back. Like, bro died. Yeah. But at the end of the day, all good things come to an end.
Yeah.
This ride isn't forever. Like, and I take that because you can sit. I'm not gonna sit here and take away a little person's life for your mistakes, for your adult mistakes. I could see that. Whether he was high as a kite or not, he stuck to his word. I'm not killing kids, and I'm gonna ride behind that. I kill a cockroach. I kill a motherfucker who deserve it. But I'm not gonna take away the life of a kid that didn't do anything.
Okay. I think off the top of my head, I'd be like
the movie, man.
I'd be like Hancock, or I'd be like Hobbs, which is The Rock from Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because The Rock was OD.
Yeah.
He'd be OD in every of his movies. But I'd be Hancock because I could, you know what I'm saying? Fly. I'm bulletproof. I'm chilling.
But you weak when a bitch come, when your favorite bitch come around.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody has to make that sacrifice. So that's why I said it wasn't.
But Hobbs was tough. Like, anyway,
bro, he rock bombed that dude after prison, in the prison cell, and then tackled bro off the like 8th floor onto that car. Yeah, he was getting active.
Yo, active.
He was getting active. There. I could live with something like that.
But before we even take off, how do you feel like I don't know if you actually went back and watched the very first one, or I don't know how you feel about it, like the Fast and Furious, but how do you feel from the very first one to now? How do you feel it's like dictated?
Like, that's what the movies are like.
the movies, like the way they've went with
it. Went from like illegal street racing to like now they're like we're gonna be fighting aliens or something like
that. Like what?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know where I got lost, where the disconnect happened.
I'm sad to say after like Paul Walker passed. Yeah. Like when they said goodbye to him, they took that like in a whole completely
and they just said we're saying goodbye to Fast and Furious as a whole.
Yeah, the whole like
we're going ahead and we're turning this thing into a super movie.
Yeah, like we're fucking superheroes, super agents, like
explosions, slow mo shots is what it became after that. Not just street racing. Fast ass cars, explosions, and slow motion shots. Unbelievable slow motion shots. Like crazy stuff.
That you like. This nigga Vin Diesel is a fucking Superman. Can't die at all.
That's why I said it would be like Hobbs, but I would be somebody from Fast and Furious can't die.
Yeah, like
I will find a way to keep myself. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. It would be a stressful life. But I'll be Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible. I forget what his character's name is. But he's like elite.
Yeah, he's elite.
He can like really do everything.
Like,
facts. If I was my hands wrapped around my back in a glass, if I was in a Pepsi bottle underground with my hands wrapped around my back, he's gonna find a way not only to get out of there, but be able to extrapolate the last little droplets of Pepsi and be able to turn that into sustenance for the week. So I ain't got to eat for another week.
Yeah.
He
was killing.
That's
true.
Yeah, I would take. That's probably what I would have been. I'd take that. I'd be Tom
movie.
Cruise.
If I had to give another movie,
Tom Cruise also couldn't die.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, that's probably like my movie. Just Scarface in general. Just cause, like, yeah. But dang, Mission Impossible was tough. Dude, honestly. Shout out to Black Panther. I'd be the freaking Black Panther. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
true that.
What? Like, if I had to really like beat somebody, like, yo, I'm like, what? Wakanda forever. Out of here. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm like that. I remember even when that came out, like the world, the community, there was we got our movie and Marvel, nigga. Like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Don't get me started. They mess up the second one. Okay, I go to the next one. What would you do? You are the emperor of a small island nation, and you can pick any 3 people from history to come live on your island for 5 years. Who do you choose and why?
3 people in historic time. I'm an emperor. I can only pick 3? Like, this is it? Like, I mean, I got an island, and I'm only picking 3 people to come? 3 people from historic time. I ain't gonna lie. I'm taking dang, I don't know. You gotta answer that one first. I don't know who I'm taking on this island with me. Dang. Do they have to be historic figures? Like,
no, just anybody from from whenever. Oh no, maybe it says from history, but I guess it could be anybody from whenever.
From history.
I guess it would have to be, I guess, more than just like my sister or my dad or something like that. I guess I'm assuming that's the consensus.
Yeah.
Or the
okay, like if I'm already adjusted with like my family figures and everything like that, like 3 historic figures, and it's an island and we good on there. As far as if I'm thinking like, oh dang, but they live on with you for 5 years. You did say that too.
That's true.
How I said, like it's like weird. Like who would I want living with me for 5 years, son? Like,
yeah, I think.
Like, who would I want?
So,
I'm just trying to think about that.
I got 2.
Like, I'm already in, like, think about it. I'm already an emperor.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I know I got, so I'm going to take,
okay.
Sofia Vergara.
All right. I was like, we got to be going women. Because this is like, I was thinking too deep into this.
And then I'm going to take Steve Irwin. And so I had an idea originally who I was gonna choose, but now I'm gonna take it back. I'm taking The Rock.
Okay.
Now why? Sofia Vergara, one, I think bringing more beautiful women to the island is no problem. But also, I think she will serve purpose for entertainment. Worst case, if now I don't know if it's like just me and these 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Sofia Vergara falling in love. I'm not gonna argue that. But like I feel like for entertainment, you know what I'm saying, she's got talent, so you know we could act, I could you know create acting, we can make movies, everything like that. And that goes in hand with bringing The Rock, because if I bring The Rock out there, I'm have entertainment forever. And The Rock is a business savvy individual, so we're gonna get, you know what I mean? We're all gonna get working out every day, but we also gonna be in there having quality movies. The Rock will have us laughing. We're gonna enjoy. So then I got Steve Irwin, because Steve Irwin is prepared for anything that goes on in life, and he will be able to whisper to the animals that's out there. So. That's what I'm taking with me.
Okay. Oh. Shit, man. Okay, you said an emperor, bro. I'm already an emperor, so we can do whatever. Yeah, I'm the emperor. This is my island. We do whatever. All right.
I could maybe replace Sofia Vergara with Margot Robbie, but.
Bro, like, okay, because you took like The Rock. All right, if I'm taking, you know what, bro? I'm gonna take Wiz. I ain't gonna lie, like Wiz Khalifa. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I feel like that's my dog.
Okay.
Definitely, you know, be with the gods every day and everything like that. Like my shorty, it's like my wife, for sure. Juju, take her. You know, we gonna ride till the wheels fall off, baby. It's just me. I'm an emperor. We you know, this is my island. And then and probably if I had to pick like another entertainer, or just somebody, you know what, bro? I'm getting Jeff Bezos, man. Fuck that bullshit. Yeah, bro. That party of a lifetime, man.
Nah. Real emotion. Nah,
yeah, real emotion, man. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I'll say.
I ain't argue with that.
I can take those 3.
Okay.
Say, cause that'll even out. Plus, I feel like, you know, Bezos, he gonna be like, all right, we gotta get back to this money. It's gonna be like that. And, you know, Juju, she can teach me how to ball and everything like that. And then Wiz, we be with the gods every day, man. I feel like, yeah, I have an even life.
Smooth that. All right. And I'll close it out with things you're looking forward to. Any movies, TV shows, anything going on? Top of my head, I know I want to see the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie.
Yo,
I've been rewatching all those movies so I can be ready for this new one.
And shout out A Quiet Place with your girl Lupita. Yeah, day 1. They taking it back to like when it all started.
Yeah, I rewatched Quiet Places, so
yeah,
I'm about to definitely be ready for that.
So not gonna lie, I just saw the movie Monkey Man. Yo,
oh yeah, you did say that.
It was actually tough. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like it was sick. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was actually sick. Like it was tough. Like
okay, I might have to catch that.
Yeah, that's just if you ain't seen that, go and watch that, cause bro.
TV shows. I don't know if there was any.
As far as TV shows, yeah. It's like coming soon. Things that's like coming up.
Oh yeah, my show You is gonna be coming out sometime. I think at the end of this year. If not this year, it is early next year. I would definitely be prepared to watch You and go binge that.
Oh, You with your boy, yeah, and everything like that. Yeah, Netflix and everything for sure. I forgot about that. Honestly, I need to get into that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I need to. That's one of those shows that I keep hearing is like good and everything.
You haven't watched it?
No, bro.
Oh,
like, I have not stepped into that yet.
Oh, bro.
And like, yo, that's why I said, like, bro, my sisters are some bingers, yo. They find the shows and just go crazy.
Yeah, some of my mom is. She put me on.
Yeah. And that's literally what they did, bro. They put my mom on, so it was like, wow.
The Boys, the next season of The Boys is coming out. I'm definitely excited for that.
What season is this? This can't be 4.
It's 4.
It's what? Yes.
Yeah, that comes out
they're finally,
in June.
bro.
In June that drops.
Yo, that I actually had to go back and like watch that. It's sick.
So those are, I would say, the first couple. They got a Superman movie coming out, and I think they're doing the next. It's not a movie. I think it was a Marvel movie I wanted to see.
Oh no, BMF. I ain't gonna lie, that season has actually been like, I don't know if you actually been like watching that or anything like that. Off. Yeah, definitely that's been a good season and everything so far. Shout out to Power and everything that's about to come out. I know that's about to be cooked up. Yeah. So, as far as everything coming up, no. You gotta get your tickets to Broccoli City. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Right. Like, that's true.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be pretty good.
No, I'm saying that like that's a nice lineup of entertainment, like for sure. Yeah. So that's what I'm like. But as far as like, I know it's like some people on tour right now, but as far as like everything goes, I was sad I couldn't get my ticket to see Offset. Like sad. Yeah. So I was like, dang. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like his concert's going sick. Yeah.
Chris Brown going on concert soon too. I've seen him a few times.
He's gonna be here. He's gonna be on the West Coast for your birthday. How you feel about that? You gonna go or what? Like
that's gonna be a decision.
Now I said like I'm not going on the cruise no more.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm not. We'll talk about it later after.
Okay. Now we gotta figure that out.
Yeah.
All right. Now speaking of West Coast.
Good.
Bruh, WrestleMania. We talked about WrestleMania next year is in Vegas.
Yes.
In Vegas, now that's crazy.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. As soon as they drop the pre-sale tickets or whatever, I'm getting the best one I can. I want to be right there. I want to.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm telling you,
Vegas,
bro, WWE WrestleMania tickets be crazier than the Super Bowl.
Like
trying to get handed them tickets, you got to be on it. But
on it.
Bro, I just know because they're in Vegas. If for one, Vegas is not gonna play around.
Exactly.
So Vegas will be
see.
So that's top of my head. Yeah, those couple. They got a Superman movie coming out too. I think I just said that a few minutes ago, but that's the only other thing I think I'd be excited about.
I might have to check out that trailer because I didn't even know they was coming out with another.
Yeah,
Superman
I don't know if they dropped the trailer yet, but there was probably some other movie I saw that dropped the trailer too. I felt like it was some type of superhero movie they're supposed to be coming out with, but I know the boys dropping, so
yeah, definitely about to tune into that because
top of my head, that's the only thing I'm at with it. So excited for the next one.
Until again,